Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states in the 35th verse of Surah Al-Baqarah, وَقُلْنَا يَا آدَمُ اسْكُنْ أَنْتَ وَزَوْجُكَ الْجَنَّةَ وَكُلَا مِنْهَا رَغَدًا حَيْثُ شِئْتُمَا وَلَا تَقْرَبَا هَذِهِ الشَّجَرَةَ فَتَكُونَا مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. And we said, O Adam, dwell you and your wife in paradise and eat at pleasure thereof whatever you like, but do not approach this tree, or you will be of the transgressors. So now in this blessed verse of the Holy Quran, the account of Hazrat Adam alayhi salam is being mentioned when he first arrived in paradise, in Jannat, when he arrived there, and then he was asked and commanded and instructed to not approach a certain tree and not eat from it. And then the disobedient nature of Satan, Iblis, what he did in that paradise, the account of that, this is the subject mainly of our discussion today in lieu of this verse, the 35th verse. So now in this verse it is firstly mentioned that Hazrat Bibi Havva was the wife of Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, and from this verse we learn that Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala has made wife as a comfort for us. Imam Bukhari narrates that Hazrat Abu Huraira radiallahu ta'ala states that the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, stated, be benevolent and kind with your wives. Be kind towards your wives, as the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, stated that women are made from rib, as recorded in the blessed Bukhari Sharif. Imam Bukhari narrates that the most bendness in the rib is in its upper portion, and if you try to straighten it, you will break it. If you try to straighten it, you will break it, and if you leave it as is, it will remain bent. So it is therefore being said that you are expected to be kind towards the woman. So be kind to women, as the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, stated. So we, as we read in the previous lecture, that Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala stated, وَإِذْ قُلْنَا لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ فَسَجَدُوا إِلَّا إِبْلِيسَ أَبَى وَاسْتَكْبَرَ وَكَانَ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ. And recall when we commanded the angels, prostrate yourselves before Adam. So they all prostrated themselves except Iblis, except Satan, Iblis. He refused and waxed proud and became a disbeliever. So Hazrat Ibn Masud radiallahu ta'ala and other blessed companions of the beloved Messenger, peace be upon him, say that when Iblis was expelled from the paradise and he was cursed, what really happened? And Hazrat Adam alayhi salam was kept in paradise, and at times when he was in paradise, Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, when he was in paradise, he used to feel alienated, he used to feel alienation, he used to feel loneliness. So, to remedy that, one following day when he slept and then woke up, he saw a woman sitting beside him, which Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala had created from the rib of Hazrat Adam alayhi salam. So Hazrat Adam alayhi salam inquired, who are you? And she replied, I am a woman. Then Hazrat Adam alayhi salam further inquired, why were you created? Hazrat Havva replied, for your comfort. The angels then inquired from Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, O Adam, what is her name? Hazrat Adam alayhi salam replied, her name is Havva. Her name is Havva. They then asked, why did you name her as Havva? He replied, because she was created from a living human being. Then Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala stated in the next verse, which is the subject of our construction and interpretation today, قُلْنَا يَا آدَمُ اسْكُنْ أَنْتَ وَزَوْجُكَ الْجَنَّةَ وَكُلَا مِنْهَا رَغَدًا حَيْثُ شِئْتُمَا وَلَا تَقْرَبَا هَذِهِ الشَّجَرَةَ فَتَكُونَا مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. And we said, O Adam, dwell you and your wife in paradise, in Jannah, and eat at pleasure thereof, whatever you like, but do not approach this tree, or you will be of the transgressors. Previously, we read and we contemplated upon the fact that Jannah, in actual, literally, it refers to a garden. So Jannah is a garden of paradise. Now Jannah, it also refers to that on the borders of which is a fence, a place on the borders of which is a fence. So Hazrat Adam alayhi salam was kept in Jannah, in paradise. So now there is a difference of opinion as to in which paradise, Jannah, was Hazrat Adam alayhi salam really kept. That was it Jannatul Khuld, or was a specific garden prepared for him in paradise. Now there are many gardens of paradise, many Jannahs. Example, for instance, Jannatul Firdaus, then we have Jannat Yadin, Jannatul Naim Darul Khuld, and Jannatul Mawa, etc. Then these are those Jannahs which Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala made for a human being. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala made for a human being. And those who say that it was not a Jannatul Khuld, there is evidence that they say that the person who once enters Jannatul Khuld, he will never leave it. He will never leave it. So that is the evidence that they present. However, a blessed hadith of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, it is recorded in that the one who enters Jannah as a blessing, he won't leave from there. He who after being held accountable was awarded paradise, was awarded Jannah, he won't leave it. However, who, like Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, entered Jannah at the start, then it is not impossible for them to leave Jannah. It is possible for them. So as certain scholars have said, like Imam Hazrat Allama Qurtubi, radiyallahu ta'ala, who states that Hazrat Adam alayhi salam was not commanded to live in Darul Khuld, but was commanded to live in a certain garden of paradise, in a certain garden of Jannah. And the evidence of this is that Iblis can never enter or go into Darul Khuld, because Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states at another instance, La yasma'una fiha lagwan wa la ta'thima, they shall not hear therein any vain or any sinful talk. Now what Iblis did was a sinful talk. When he went to Hazrat Adam alayhi salam and that whole incident took place, which we will be discussing subsequently. So Iblis talked sinfully. There was sins when he was talking to Hazrat Adam alayhi salam. So what his conversations were, they were full of disobedience. They were full of commission of sins. Then Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states in this verse, La yasma'una fiha lagwan wa la ta'thima, they shall not hear therein any vain or any sinful talk. So since Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala has said that in Jannatul Khuld, in the paradise Jannah, in that Jannah, no one shall hear therein any vain or any sinful talk. What Iblis was doing was something which was sinful. Therefore, the scholars present this as evidence that they confirm, and they say that there was this other garden of paradise, and this was not that paradise which is being referred to. Then it is also recorded at another instance in the Holy Quran, La yasma'una fiha lagwan wa la kidhaba, therein they will hear neither idle talk nor lying. Now Iblis used to lie. His talk, that was all idle talk. He used to lie. So that Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala also confirms that in that paradise no one will lie. No one will lie. There will not be any idle talk. While Iblis was doing that, therefore that means that this was a certain specific garden of paradise as per certain scholars of Islam. Then Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states in the Holy Quran, La yamassuhum fiha nasabbun wa ma hum minha bimukhrajin, neither any fatigue touches them, nor shall they be driven out therefrom. So from this, scholars present in evidence that Hazrat Adam alayhi salam was kept in was not kept in Jannatul Khuld, but in Jannat Adn. La yasma'una fiha lagwan wala kidhaba. Therein they will hear neither idle talk nor lying. Iblis used to lie. So therefore that confirms that that was not Jannatul Khuld, as per one strand of scholars. And Iblis lied. So this was something that could not happen there. He acted in an inappropriate manner. He lied. And Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, as a result of all of that, Hazrat Adam alayhi salam and Hazrat Havva was sent off from Jannah due to the disobedience of Iblis, due to the lying of Iblis and all that. Now some people put forward this contention. They say that, God forbid, Na'uzubillah, Hazrat Adam alayhi salam and Hazrat Havva, they were sent out of Jannah due to their disobedience. So they, God forbid, end up saying that Hazrat Adam alayhi salam or Hazrat Havva radiyallahu ta'ala, they were disobedient. God forbid, Na'uzubillah, astaghfirullah. The response to their contention is that the characteristic of Jannah is that when after the day of judgment, people will be held accountable and then they will be led to and then they will be made to enter paradise. So the beloved Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, on the night of Miraj, the ascension night, the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, also went into the Jannahs, into the paradise. He went there, did he not? And then he came back from it. So Hazrat Adam alayhi salam was not disobedient. Iblis was. He lied. And how was he not disobedient? We will be discussing that now subsequently. So Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states, وَقُلْنَا يَا آدَمُ اسْكُنْ أَنْتَ وَزَوْجُكَ الْجَنَّةَ وَكُلَا مِنْهَا رَغَدًا حَيْثُ شِئْتُمَا وَلَا تَقْرَبَا هَذِهِ الشَّجَرَةَ فَتَكُونَا مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. And we said, O Adam, dwell you and your wife in paradise, and eat at pleasure thereof, whatever you like. But do not approach this tree or you will be of the transgressors. So a particular tree was mentioned that you should not approach this tree. Some people think that that he was stopped from eating a wheat grain. When it is recorded in the blessed ahadith that, for instance, Hazrat Ibn Abad radiallahu ta'ala narrates that it was actually an olive tree. In one narration, it was a wheat tree. In another, it was the tree of grapes. As per another narration, it was the tree of wheat. Then as per another narration, it was a tree of grapes. So we cannot really be certain as to what really was that tree. Nor has that been clearly and explicitly highlighted and stated in the Holy Quran or in the blessed Ahadith. We don't really know for a certain fact that what really was that tree, whether it was a grapes tree, whether it was a tree of wheat, whether it was a tree of grapes, or whether it was perhaps an olive tree. We don't know that. So the one who says that he is for sure certain that this was an olive tree, he cannot say that, because there are these three narrations recorded in the blessed ahadith, one of which confirms that it was something related to wheat. Then the other narration confirms that it was an actual tree of grapes, and then there is a third narration which confirms that it was actually an olive tree. So there are these three competing aspects here. So therefore one cannot be sure as to which tree it really was. But there was this tree. There was this tree for a fact. A certain tree in paradise we don't know of perhaps, in regards to which Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala commanded Hazrat Adam alayhi salam and Hazrat Havva to not approach that tree and to not eat from it. They were not stopped from eating fruits from the other trees. It was only that specific and that particular tree from which Hazrat Adam alayhi salam and Hazrat Havva were stopped from eating. وَلَا تَقْرَبَا هَذِهِ الشَّجَرَةَ فَتَكُونَا مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. But do not approach this tree or you will be of the transgressors. So now what needs to be seen is whether that seed or the fruit, the consumption of which was forbidden by Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, whether the act of eating that fruit from that tree was disobedience by Hazrat Adam alayhi salam or not. Because there are these people who put forward this contention, God forbid, Na'uzubillah, who say that when Hazrat Adam alayhi salam ate from that tree, he was disobedient towards Allah. this is not the case. My Sayyidi Shaykh Muhammad Muslim Munawwar Yusufi says that this is not the case. He was never disobedient, and there are reasons for that, establishing the same. So firstly, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala stopped Hazrat Adam alayhi salam from approaching that tree and from eating anything, from eating from the tree. So if Hazrat Adam alayhi salam approached the tree with his intention, with the mens rea, then if he approached and ate from the tree, then that would be disobedience, right? Isn't it? If there was intention, if there was mens rea, but if the intention is not there, then he will not be disobedient. Because by definition, what really is sin? Sin is which is committed with an intention, intention. And if it is not committed with an intention, then it is not a sin. Because intention, the mens rea of the person is important and vital here. And the thing which has been done unintentionally, that is not a sin. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states in the Holy Quran, وَلَقَدْ عَهِدْنَا إِلَىٰ آدَمَ مِنْ قَبْلُ فَنَسِيَ وَلَمْ نَجِدْ لَهُ عَزْمًا. And this means that Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states, and undoubtedly we had given an emphatic commandment to Adam before this. Then he forgot, and we did not find his intention. And we did not find his intention. So what is noteworthy is this, that then he forgot and we did not find his intention. Now what we are discussing is that by definition a sin is when someone commits a sin with an intention. And Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala confirms through this blessed verse of the Holy Quran that Hazrat Adam alayhi salam had not intended to commit the sin, but that he had forgotten. He forgot. So there is a difference here. There was no intention. There was no mens rea. Hazrat Adam alayhi salam did not intend to or did not willingly commit the sin. It was unintentionally. So he forgot. He did it unintentionally. So since Hazrat Adam alayhi salam did not commit the sin on purpose, he did it unintentionally. There was no intention. Therefore, he was not disobedient. And therefore, nor was he a transgressor. Then Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states at another instance, وَعَصَىٰ آدَمُ رَبَّهُ فَغَوَىٰ. And Adam slipped the commandment of his Lord, then what he had desired did not get the way to it. So apparently, while it does seem disobedience, he was never disobedient. He merely forgot. So there is a difference here. Had it been that he had committed something intentionally, then it would have been another case. So the people who put forward this contention and they submit that Hazrat Adam alayhi salam was disobedient. No, he was not, because Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala has confirmed this in the verse that Hazrat Adam alayhi salam forgot and he had not intended. And a sin will only be committed when someone intends to do it, when that is on intention, on purpose. Intentionally, the sin is being committed. Hazrat Adam alayhi salam never intended. That was unintentional. It was not on purpose. Therefore, he was neither disobedient and nor was he a transgressor. So therefore, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states in the next verse, the 36th verse of Surah Al-Baqarah, فَأَزَلَّهُمَا الشَّيْطَانُ عَنْهَا فَأَخْرَجَهُمَا مِمَّا كَانَ فِيهِ فَقُلْنَا اهْبِطُوا بَعْضُكُمْ لِبَعْضٍ عَدُوٌّ وَلَكُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ مُسْتَقَرٌّ وَمَتَاعٌ إِلَىٰ حِينٍ. Then Satan, Iblis, caused them to slip therefrom and brought them out of what they were in. And he said, go down, some of you are the enemies of others, and on the earth there will be for you a dwelling place and enjoyment for a time.